I just wanted to do a video that I thought about. This is something I used to teach my clients, and my friend, who is a very good psychologist, Patrick, taught me about this. And it's what you call the maladaptive introject. Now, when people have a lot of PTSD, and almost everybody has it, in this world today, unless they were very sheltered, highly supported, the more you know and grow, it's almost the worse it gets. But what the maladaptive introject is, and also if you had childhood trauma, somebody yelling at you, somebody telling you're not good, somebody hurting you, hitting you, neglecting you, making you feel left out at all. It could be your mother or your father. You could have a really highly attuned mother and not a highly attuned father, or vice versa. Not because of you, it's because of what they went through. And so what happens is when you have PTSD, especially complex PTSD, where things happened over and over that weren't good, and maybe you had to keep secrets, or maybe you had to try to earn your way in. But anyway, this maladaptive introject is the part of your inner child that gets angry. It's also possibly the parent and how they acted toward you. And so you'll act that way toward yourself and toward others to get, to feel safe, really, even though it makes you feel unsafe, because it's a protector mechanism. And so what can really help with this is mindfulness, EMDR, deep breathing, and body scans mindfulness. Noticing, like if you're on a walk, noticing every single step you take and feeling your foot roll on the pavement, hearing the cars, smelling the trees, noticing the color green and the color purple on the plants. Also, prayer. When you let out your prayer is your preparation, and it's your word and your thoughts that actually make a way for you. Everything is spiritual. Look at these beautiful clouds. That's the heavens. God made the heavens and the earth. And he's in us, but he's also up there. He's got his own stuff that we don't know about yet. It says, no eye hath seen nor ear hath heard the beautiful riches that God has prepared for you in mansions, streets of gold. The 12 gates in Revelation, they all are a crystal. It's so cool. I read Revelations when I was younger. Probably high, but yeah. Wired, I guess. Anyway, when I was wired, it wired me up. So God creates all things good and bad for the good of those who love the Lord. Probably perfected my cleaning skills as well. But this maladaptive introject, you'll notice, is very paranoid. It's going to be the rats talking shit to you about what you think other people feel towards you. Some people, that's momentary to momentary, but people aren't thinking about you all the time. People are thinking about themselves. Sometimes they are, and you'll feel it spiritually. So I guess some people get more attention than others. But what you can do to protect yourself from this maladaptive introject, wounded child. Good morning. Hi. Is... No, I'm doing a video. Do you want to be in it?
Not really.
Oh, darn it. Okay. Well, have a good day, neighbor. Anyway, so cool. I've been talking to old men lately. I met a guy at the bank, and we had a conversation about, first of all, the weight, the suckers, the coffee, the bar that they have there. They actually have this machine for hot cocoa and coffee, and I love the hot cocoa. He tried the coffee after, because I talked to him about it. Then we stepped outside, and I got my electric bike, so I was raving about that. And he wanted to know more about it, so I explained it to him. And we talked about his grandson and his cars, and how he switched from Mercedes to BMW, and he used to drive Cadillacs. I really like Cadillacs, even though I have this car problem now, and probably because I can't afford a BMW or a Mercedes, but I like a good Caddy. They're comfy. It's kind of same with my bike, beach cruiser, soft seat on the ass. But this maladaptive introject will make you think thoughts that are not the best. And so this also has to do with health realization and knowing, like, when you're not in the best space in your life, and this is the part that you won't forgive unless you attend to it as a loving adult. You know, your wounded inner child, your loving adult has to say, hey, that's not true. You know, you're human, you make mistakes, you have the right to make mistakes. That's how we learn and grow. But you can really get caught up in this maladaptive introject problem where you'll act out to protect yourself, and then you'll think people hate you and they don't. And also, this is why you know when you're in a negative, low mood or mind state or low thoughts. This happens to a lot of people after a night of drinking. That's why I don't like to drink. Because that depression, it's not worth it. It's like 2 or less or nothing at all. I like nothing at all, but sometimes you got to have a cocktail. If you're out meeting new people and, you know, you go have a little dinner and a drink, it's nice. 2 or less, or 1 even. Just a sip, like right when you go up, you got to come back down. And it's calories, so women can't afford it. Men maybe. Everybody's their own chemistry though, but when you know you're in a low mood, your thoughts aren't going to be telling you the things that are correct. Your loving adult is going to be nowhere to be found, and your wounded child is going to be running the show. So know that if you are in a low mood state, not to trust your thoughts and feelings. And if you're in a high mood state, that's when you're more creative and you're more perceptive and you're more forgiving and you're more intuitive. And you know, just give yourself grace. God gives us grace, and we need to give it to ourselves too. And that's how we're gonna do better. You know, nobody ever did better from being criticized. People do better when they're projected upon in a positive way. It's called self-fulfilling prophecy. And so whatever you speak over other people, and this is actually the power of words and spirituality, because words have so much vibration. That's why anytime I hear good things out of people, I tell them that sounds like change talk. Because change talk is when you hear somebody talking about change, notice the things that people talk about. You know, if they're talking about negative things, that's what's going on inside. That's why you got to be careful and guard your ear gate. If you start feeling anxious about it or anything like that, it's a whole mind trip. So you got to be careful. You know, words are powerful. And so if people do speak blessings or curses over you, you need to notice it and take the good and leave the bad, and know that that curse that they said about you, it's actually what's going on inside of their heads. So you can't even get mad at them because they literally inflicted that upon themselves, and they're sad. Like, it can't feel good to speak over somebody's life that something isn't good enough or something isn't going to get better, or, you know, that's just that. Notice that, right? I'm super sensitive to negative talk, especially when I've heard it over my clients, people talking, you know, saying unhopeful things. And you know, you'll get hated when you're very hopeful, and you'll see it, but you can rise above. You got the trees, you got your walk. Look at this lady, she's walking in her walker. I'm so blessed. I'm so darn blessed. Look at this little bird. Look at this grass. My goodness, what a day. What a beauteous day. Anyway, I wanted to do that video on the maladaptive introject. Even if people let you go, it doesn't say anything about you. It says something about them. Maybe they have work to do. Maybe they aren't vibing with how you're living your life. And all things happen, good and bad, for those who love the Lord, Romans 8:28. And so I live in a 5 house right now. Oh, I never want to live in a 5 house again. I want to live in a 4 house or 8 house or 7 house or 11 house. I do numbers on everything, but this house is a changing house, and that's why I wanted to move, but I'm pretty comfortable with it. I mean, I think I'll stay. We'll see what happens when the winter comes. And change is good too. I shouldn't even be sad about it. I wish things were set. And I'm sure they will be, because God says my latter days will be better than my former days. And I always believe that. So this is 44. You know, this is my year of stability. Plus it's an 8. It's an infinity. It's an abundance number. I've been waiting for this year. This year's in a lot of things that I am concerned about. And I'm not quite sure what to expect, but it's feeling better than ever. And you know, we have our good days and our bad days, and then somebody plants a little beautiful bean tree. So be grateful for what you have. Don't listen to the maladaptive introject, that voice that you heard when you were a child, or maybe it came out of nowhere but it stuck with you. Know that our thoughts aren't always telling us the truth if they're low vibrational and negative. They're more telling you the truth when you're in a state of gratitude and love. Those are the highest. Those are the highest vibrations, and you can be in those whether you have a little or a lot. And so always